everyone, this is Professor Little. I wanted to take a few minutes and some videos for you guys to overview some things for Chapter 2 for the CISW 320 class. So the first thing that you should have already set up actually during our orientation was a folder for our class, and if you see here on my screenshot, I have a folder for my CISW 320 course. This folder will not be uploaded to the web, so it's okay for me to have this in all uppercase and with a space, but any folder you're going to be uploading to the web needs to be in lowercase letters with no spaces, and that's also true for your file naming conventions. So what I've done here is set up a folder called public_HTML, and the reason I've done that is because on the server all of the files that you put onto the server have to go into the public_HTML directory in order to be able to see them on your web space server. So if you recall from our orientation, we started our index file, and I've gone ahead and placed my index file in this public_HTML folder. So if you remember, for the orientation we put together a quick little file, and then the hands-on 1 and case study 1 for week 1 was just to make some modifications to this file, adding some headings, and then talking a little bit about yourself and your educational goals. So if you have not completed this, you certainly need to send me an email and let me know what your struggles are. Otherwise, if you go 10 days without submitting assignments, I'm going to drop you. Okay, so anyway, so this is the index file that we have set up, and that's going to be in that public_HTML folder. So now, moving forward, I've assigned you guys the hands-on exercises within most of the chapters, and what those allow you to do is practice your coding of HTML. So you want to look on the course syllabus, on the schedule. I've given you the page numbers and the assignments, and just follow along with that, and then if you have any questions about a specific assignment, go ahead and post that in the instructor office. So on page 28 of your textbook, you'll see the first hands-on practice 2.1. So you want to really get a good organizational structure of your files and directories for web server management. And so what you see here on my screen is I have a folder that I called hands-on, and you'll note there's no spaces in that. So you guys should go ahead and create a folder for hands-on, and then as you create these hands-on practice exercises, you'll go ahead and place those inside of that folder. So what you're going to see here is I've went ahead and coded the first file of the exercise, which is hands-on practice 2.1, and that is the Hello World assignment. So all of the hands-on exercises that you code, you should go ahead and put them into a folder called hands-on. Now, depending on how you want to do your file management, you could even set those up by chapter. So I could have chapter 2, and then I could just go ahead and put my files that I code for chapter 2, for the hands-on chapter 2, into there. So this is a very organized directory structure. Here's my public. That's going to be the root directory of our web space. So again, that's kind of our point of beginning, and everything's going to start there. And then the index file will be working toward making this like a table of contents for all of the things that you code. So a little bit later I'll discuss you guys getting links in here to link up to the hands-on files that you code, as well as the Java Jam. So lastly, you want to have another folder for the end of the chapter exercises for the Java Jam case study exercises you'll be completing, because you're going to code all those from scratch as well. So once you finish the hands-on, learning that coding should provide you the avenue to go ahead and put those skills to use and build the case studies that I've assigned at the end of the chapter. So go ahead and create another folder for Java Jam, and then you're going to be all set to be able to save those pages from the case study into the Java Jam folder. Okay, so if you don't have an FTP program to be able to use, you can download the FTP program using our Business Division website for the student server. So it's located on that, the student web pages that we worked with when we first started our class, and you've been assigned your number. If you forget your number again, just go into the grade book of D2L and you'll see which number belongs to you for your login ID. So the free WSFTP is located here at the top. Go ahead and download that onto your computer. And then once you download that, this is free software as long as you're a student. So when you run this to install it, you want to just go ahead and let them know that you're a student and that you're going to use it wherever you're going to use it. And then go ahead and put it for academic work and finish the installation process. So once you go through the entire wizard, you'll just go ahead and allow the defaults that the program gives you, and just go ahead and say OK, and you're all set with your FTP program. So let's talk a little bit about that setup, and then we'll look at this directory structure again through the WSFTP. So when you go into this, you're going to go ahead and set up your profile. And you can just click on New. Now you want to be mindful about your profile and what computers you store that on. So keep in mind, if this is your computer, then it's probably okay to save your password. But if you're using a public computer, you really don't want to save your password because someone would then have access to your web server space. So we're just going to call this my web class profile. And then the host is the same that we used during orientation, the cis.scc.losrios.edu. And then your user ID is that class code that you got out of the D2L for our section B of our class, and then the student number I assigned you, and then your password, as you know, is your student number preceded with the W. Okay, so once you sign into the server, it'll go ahead and connect you. And give you a little signal that you've been successfully connected. So note here that I have this public folder over on my remote site. So whenever you upload anything to here, before you upload it, you need to make sure you get inside that public directory by just double-clicking on it. Okay, and so when you do, you should be able to see the index file that you originally uploaded for our first week 1 assignment. And then the CGI bin folder, just ignore that. That's generally used for scripts running on a server, and we're not going to be talking about those for quite a while. So when you're on your computer, you just want to go ahead and get to your directory location. So you can see here on my local system, I am inside my folder that's holding everything for my class, and then subsequently I've got the same directory structure, the public HTML on my local side and the public HTML on my remote site. So you want to just make sure you double click that public on your local drive and also click that public on the remote site, and then both of these sides should be always look identical from here on out. Okay, so again, this index page is the first page that people will see when they visit your web server. Any file called index.html, which is in the root of a folder, will be the automatic file that displays by default. And that can actually be different depending on who's hosting your server. Sometimes the home page can be called home.html or default.html. But certainly 95% of the time or more, most servers require the home page to be called the index.html. So to upload a single file, you would just single click that file, choose the button in the middle and put that over to the remote site. So you can do the same thing for folders if you single click on your folder and then just upload that folder, and then it'll ask you, do you want to transfer the selected folders and their contents, and that would be any files in those, and yes, you want to go ahead and do that. And what that does for you is it just sets up your directory structure and then makes sure that everything is in sync. So you'll kind of see the program go ahead and scroll through all the files and folders that it's copying, that directory structure. It'll take a couple of minutes to upload depending on the size of your files that you have, and then once that's complete, it'll go ahead and take you back. So it'll give you a little signal, and then you can see that your directory structures on the server, the remote site, is completely in sync with your local system. So you want to go ahead and do that for any folder. So I have my hands-on, that's the first one, and then now I'm going to upload my Java Jam. So these file management techniques are imperative for your success in being able to get your pages where you want. And I'll have another little video that you need to watch on talking about absolute and relative paths and linking documents. Okay, so enjoy your first exercises.